Good morning, students. I welcome you all to the class on diagonalization. In today's class, we will see the definition of a diagonalizable matrix. Also, if a given matrix A is diagonalizable, we will see a method to find the matrix P which diagonalizes the given matrix A. Diagonalization. So our main question is, for an n by n matrix A, can we find an n by n non-singular matrix P such that P inverse AP equal to D is a diagonal matrix? So a diagonal matrix is a matrix which has only non-zero entries in the main diagonal. So a diagonal matrix will be of the form from D1, D2, etc. Dn. All other entries will be 0. So here the question is, if an n by n matrix A is given, now can we find a matrix P which is non-singular, that is determinant of P is not equal to 0, such that P inverse AP happens to be a diagonal matrix. So we will try to find in what condition we will be able to write like this. So in this section we will make use of some notation. So suppose A is a 2 by 2 matrix, A and B both are 2 by 2 matrix. Then let A equal to A11, A12, A21, A22 and B is B11, B12, B21, B22. Now if we do matrix multiplication, we will get AB. Now let X1 equal to B11, B21 and X2 equal to B12, B22. So columns of the matrix B. So this is X1 and this is X2. So we can write A B in the form AB equal to, we can write it as AX1, AX2. So for simplicity, we will make use of this notation. Now we will see the definition of diagonalizable matrix. If an n by n non-singular matrix P can be found out such that P inverse AP equal to D is a diagonal matrix, then we can say that the n by n matrix A can be diagonalized or is diagonalizable, and we say that P diagonalizes A. So this is the definition of diagonalizable matrix. So corresponding to a given matrix A is an n by n square matrix. So if there exists a non-singular matrix P such that P inverse AP happens to be a diagonal matrix, then we say that the matrix A is diagonalizable. The matrix A is diagonalizable. We can diagonalize it. Okay. And the matrix P is the matrix which diagonalizes A. So we say that P diagonalizes A. So we have P inverse AP equal to D. If we multiply with P on both sides, we will get AP equal to PD, where D is a diagonal matrix. So D is a diagonal matrix. So it will have non-zero entries only on the main diagonal. Now we will see how to find such a non-singular matrix P such that P inverse AP happens to be a diagonal matrix. So we have the sufficient condition for diagonalizability. If an n by n matrix A has n linearly independent eigenvectors k1, k2, etc., kn, then A is diagonalizable. So this theorem gives a sufficient condition for diagonalizability. It says that if the given square matrix has n linearly independent eigenvectors, then the matrix A will be diagonalizable. That is, corresponding to this matrix A, we can find a non-singular matrix P such that P inverse AP happens to be a diagonal matrix. Now we will prove this. So for simplicity, we can take A to be a 3 by 3 matrix. So let A be a 3 by 3 matrix. Now K1, K2, so it will have 3 linearly independent eigenvectors. So let K1, K2, K3 be linearly independent eigenvectors. So they are the linearly independent eigenvectors of the matrix A corresponding to the eigenvalues say lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3. So from here we will get AK1 is equal to lambda 1 K1, AK2 is equal to lambda 2 K2 and AK3 is equal to lambda 3 K3. Now K1, K2, K3 are linearly independent. So we can form a matrix P whose columns are K1, K2, K3. So P is the matrix whose columns are K1, K2, K3. So in the last section we have studied that if the matrix P formed by whose columns are the linearly independent eigenvectors, then P is an orthogonal matrix, and being an orthogonal matrix, its determinant is not equal to 0. It is either plus or minus 1. So we can say that determinant of P is not equal to 0, which implies that P is non-singular. So given a matrix A with K1, K2, K3 as the 3 linearly independent eigenvectors, we form a matrix P such that whose first column is K1, second column is K2 and third column is K3. Now this P is a non-singular matrix. Now it remains us to show that P inverse AP is a diagonal matrix. So we got the non-singular matrix P. Now we will check what is AP. A into P. So using the notation that we have discussed right now, I can write this as AK1, AK2, AK3. Now AK1 is nothing but lambda 1 K1. AK2 is lambda 2 K2 and AK3 is lambda 3 K3. Now this can be written as matrix with first column K1, second column K2 and third column K3 then lambda 1, 0, 0, 0, lambda 2, 0, 0, 0, lambda 3. If you do matrix multiplication, you will get this. Okay. Now the matrix, this is the matrix P. So P is a matrix with first column K1, second column K2 and third column K3. And we can see that this is a diagonal matrix. So this is the diagonal matrix. So we got AP equal to PD. Now if we multiply, so we have AP equal to PD. If we multiply with P inverse, so multiply with P inverse, we will get P inverse AP equal to D. Okay, so this is the definition of diagonalizable matrix. So given a matrix A, we are able to find a matrix P such that P inverse AP is a diagonal matrix. So this implies A is diagonalizable. So we have proved the sufficient condition for diagonalizability, and the sufficient condition is that the eigenvectors, if A is an n by n matrix, then it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. So corresponding to this matrix A, we were able to find a matrix P and a matrix D such that P inverse AP becomes the diagonal matrix. We also note that the non-singular matrix P is the matrix whose columns are the eigenvectors K1, K2, K3. K1, K2, K3 are the linearly independent eigenvectors. So the non-singular matrix P is the matrix whose columns are these linearly independent eigenvectors. Also, we note that the diagonal matrix P happens to be a matrix with diagonal entries as the eigenvalues. So you can see D, we got it as a matrix whose diagonal entries are the eigenvalues. So lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 are the eigenvalues. So P inverse AP happens to be a diagonal matrix, and that diagonal matrix is nothing but a matrix whose diagonal entries are the eigenvalues of the given matrix A. Now we will see some criteria for diagonalizability. It is again a theorem which says that an n by n matrix A is diagonalizable if and only if it has n linearly independent eigenvectors. So we have a necessary and sufficient condition. So if the matrix has n linearly independent eigenvectors, we can say that it is diagonalizable. Now in the previous lecture, we have studied that if a matrix has distinct eigenvalues, then all the eigenvectors will be linearly independent. And now we have seen that if it has n linearly independent eigenvectors, then the matrix will be diagonalizable. So by combining these two, we have the next condition for diagonalizability, which says that an n by n matrix A, if it has n distinct eigenvalues, it is diagonalizable. So this is again a sufficient condition, but this is not necessary. Okay, this is only a sufficient condition. This is not necessary that the eigenvalues should be distinct. Okay, so if the eigenvalues are distinct, we know that the eigenvectors will be linearly independent and it will have n linearly independent eigenvectors. So by the previous result, we say that A is diagonalizable. But it may happen that if the eigenvalues are not distinct, the matrix may or may not be diagonalizable. For that, we have to check whether the eigenvectors are linearly independent. If there are n linearly independent eigenvectors, the matrix will be diagonalizable. Otherwise, it will not be diagonalizable. So, if a matrix has n distinct eigenvalues, we can say that it is diagonalizable. But if it does not have any distinct eigenvalues, we cannot say that it is not diagonalizable. It may or may not be diagonalizable. For that, we have to check about the eigenvectors. Now we will see a problem. Diagonalize the matrix A -5, 9, -6, 10 if possible. So if we can diagonalize this matrix, we have to diagonalize it. So given a matrix A, first we have to find the eigenvalues. For that, we will find the characteristic polynomial A minus lambda I equal to 0. So we have the matrix as, so this implies determinant of -5 minus lambda, 9, -6, 10, minus lambda equal to 0. If we expand this, we will get lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 4 equal to 0. So this means that the eigenvalues are, so the eigenvalues are 1 and 4. So we can see that the eigenvalues are distinct. So from the previous theorems, we know that the eigenvectors corresponding to these distinct eigenvalues will be linearly independent. And hence we can say that this matrix is diagonalizable. So A is diagonalizable, so eigenvectors will be linearly independent. Now we have to diagonalize this matrix. It means that we have to find a non-singular matrix P such that P inverse AP happens to be a diagonal matrix. So next we will find the eigenvectors. Now let K1 and K2 be eigenvectors corresponding to 1 and 4, eigenvalues 1 and 4. So K1 equal to 3, 2 and K2 equal to 1, 1. Now using this K1 and K2, we can find, we can make the non-singular matrix P. So for writing the matrix P, what we have to do is we have to write K1 and K2 as the column vectors. So P, we have to write it as K1, K2. So which is nothing but first column 3, 2, second column 1, 1. So this is the non-singular matrix P. P is a matrix whose columns are the independent eigenvectors. We also note that determinant of P is 1. So P is non-singular. So we have found a non-singular matrix P. Now we have to check whether P inverse AP is a diagonal matrix or not. For that we have to find inverse of P. So P inverse, we know the formula is 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. So using that we will get 1 minus 1 minus 2, 3. So this is P inverse A. Now we have to check what is P inverse A into P. So matrix multiplication. So 1 minus 1 minus 2, 3. Matrix A given in the problem is -5, 9, -6, 10. And P is 3, 1, 2, 1. Now when we do usual matrix multiplication, we will get this as 1, 0, 0, 4. Now we can see that this is a diagonal matrix. It is a diagonal matrix. So we have diagonalized the matrix A and the matrix P is the matrix. This diagonalizes A. And we also note that in the diagonal matrix, the diagonal values are the eigenvalues 1 and 4. So these are the eigenvalues of the matrix A. So similarly, we can do for 3 by 3 matrix also. Now we will see an example of a matrix which is not diagonalizable. So for example, let A equal to 3, 4, minus 1, 7. Now we will find first its characteristic equation. So determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0 implies that characteristic equation is lambda minus 5 whole square equal to 0. And it gives lambda equal to 5, 5 because it is a 2 by 2 matrix. So it should have two roots. So we get that the eigenvalues are repeated here. So lambda 1 and lambda 2 both are equal to 5. So if the eigenvalues are repeated, we cannot at once say that the matrix is not diagonalizable. Further, we have to check for the eigenvectors. If we are able to find two independent eigenvectors, then the matrix will be diagonalizable. Otherwise, it is not. So let us find the eigenvectors. So for that, we will see the augmented matrix A minus 5i 0. So we will get minus 2, 4, 0, minus 1, 2, 0. We write the system of equation. So we get minus 2k1 plus 4k2 equal to 0, which implies minus k1 plus 2k2 equal to 0. And from the second row, again we will get the same equation, minus k1 plus 2k2 equal to 0. So we can see that these two equations are same. We have only one equation and two unknowns. So minus k1 plus 2k2 equal to 0, which implies k1 equal to 2k2. So k1 is the multiple of k2. Now we can see that if we give k2 equal to 1, we will get k1 equal to 2. Now we cannot find another eigenvector independent of this. So k1, capital K1 equal to 2, 1 is one of the eigenvector, and every multiple of k1 is an eigenvector. But we cannot find another linearly independent eigenvector. So we can see that there is only one independent eigenvector, but A is a 2 by 2 matrix, and we are able to find only one eigenvector which is independent. So we can say that A is not diagonalizable. Now we will see another 3 by 3 matrix. So let A equal to 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Now the eigenvalues of A are found to be minus 1, 1, 1. So here we can see that 1 is a repeated eigenvalue. Now we cannot at once say that the matrix is diagonalizable or not. We have to find the eigenvectors. So let the eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1 equal to minus 1 be k1 equal to 1 minus 1, 0. So this is the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue minus 1. Now we have to find the eigenvector corresponding to the repeated eigenvalue, that is 1. So again we will write the augmented matrix, and using the Gauss-Jordan elimination form, we see that entries are minus 1, 1, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now we do elementary row operation and we get 1 minus 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now we write the corresponding equation. So we will get k1 minus k2 equal to 0, which implies k1 equal to k2. Now we are not getting any equation connecting k3. So there are no restrictions on k3. K3 can take any value. Only thing is that k1 and k2 should be same. So we write the correspond. So we give any arbitrary value. Let k1 and k2 be 1 and k3 equal to 0. So we will get capital K2, which is a vector. We will get it as 1, 1, 0. If I give k1 and k2 both as 0 and k3 as 1, I get another eigenvector which is 0, 0, 1. So you can see that these two eigenvectors are linearly independent. So we got three linearly independent eigenvectors, k1, k2 and k3. Now in the matrix A, the eigenvalues were not distinct. A had eigenvalues which were repeated, but still we were able to find three linearly independent eigenvectors. Hence, this matrix is diagonalizable, and the matrix P which diagonalizes A is obtained by writing K1, K2, K3 as columns. So we have the matrix P as 1 minus 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So this matrix diagonalizes P, diagonalizes A. We can also check this by finding P inverse AP. We will get it as D, where D equal to minus 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So here the diagonal entries are the eigenvalues of the matrix A. So we note that even if the eigenvalues are repeated, the matrix may be diagonalizable. Now we will see a criteria for orthogonal diagonalizability. So we see that an n by n matrix A with real entries can always be diagonalized. And it is because of the fact that we can always find n linearly independent eigenvectors for such a matrix. Now, since we can find n mutually orthogonal eigenvectors, we can use this orthogonal matrix P as a matrix that diagonalizes A. So, a symmetric matrix is said to be orthogonally diagonalizable. Now, the criteria is that an n by n matrix A can be orthogonally diagonalized if and only if A is a symmetric matrix. So, orthogonally diagonalized means the matrix P which diagonalizes A is an orthogonal matrix. So, suppose that A can be orthogonally diagonalized. It means that corresponding to A, there is a non-singular orthogonal matrix P such that P inverse AP equal to D. Now, P inverse AP equal to D implies that A equal to PD P inverse. And since P is orthogonal, the inverse of P is same as its transpose. So, we got A equal to PD P transpose. Now, we take transpose on both sides. So, A transpose is equal to PD P transpose whole transpose. Now, by the reversal law, we will get it as P transpose whole transpose, D transpose, P transpose. So, this is P transpose whole transpose is P itself, D transpose is D, P transpose. So, P transpose is nothing but the matrix A. So, we got A transpose is equal to A, that is A is symmetric. So, an n by n matrix A can be orthogonally diagonalized if and only if A is symmetric. Now we will see a short section about quadratic forms. So an algebraic expression which is of the form ax square plus bxy plus cy square, we say that it is in the quadratic form. Now we write the corresponding matrix form. So if we take x equal to the column vector xy, then this equation can be written in the matrix form as x transpose Ax is equal to capital X transform is row vector xy into a matrix A into xy, and this matrix A happens to be a 2 by 2 matrix with entries A, B by 2, B by 2, C. So if you multiply this, if you do matrix multiplication here, if we expand it, we will get Ax square plus Bxy plus Cy square. Also, we note that this matrix A is symmetric. Now, for example, consider the equation. So, consider the equation 2x square plus 4xy minus y square equal to 1. Now this is a quadratic equation since it is of the form ax square plus bxy plus cy square. Now if we compare it, we see that small a equal to 2, b equal to 4 and c equal to minus 1. So we can write it in this form, matrix form we can write it. So we will get, so here we have A, so it is 2, we have here 2 and half B, B by 2, so it is 4 by 2, we will get it as 2, 2 minus 1. So this is of the form X transpose Ax equal to 1 because here RHS is 1. So here A is the matrix 2, 2, 2 minus 1. And capital X is the matrix xy. Now first we will find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So since it is a 2 by 2 matrix, it is easy to find. So the eigenvalues are lambda 1 equal to minus 2 and lambda 2 equal to 3. And the corresponding eigenvectors are k1 equal to 1 minus half and k2 equal to 2, 1. We also see that k1 and k2 are orthogonal and norm k1 is equal to norm k2 equal to root 5. So when we divide these vectors with their norm, we get 1 by root 5 minus 2 by root 5 and 2 by root 5, 1 by root 5. They are orthonormal vectors. So since they are orthonormal matrix, we can form a vectors. We can form a matrix P whose columns are this orthonormal vectors. So the matrix P is 1 by root 5 minus 2 by root 5, 2 by root 5, 1 by root 5. Now this is an orthogonal matrix. So we can get an orthogonal matrix like this, and the given matrix A is also diagonalizable. So in today's class, we have seen the definition of diagonalizable matrix. We have also seen that if a given n by n matrix A has n distinct eigenvalues, then the matrix will be diagonalizable. If the eigenvalues of the given matrix A are repeated, then the matrix may or may not be diagonalizable. We have also seen that if a given n by n matrix A has n linearly independent eigenvectors, then the matrix A will be diagonalizable. So we will wind up the class today. Thank you.